Hello, and welcome back to Better English Step by Step. This is your calm, comfortable place to improve your English listening and speaking skills. I am Sarah, and I am here to guide you through another long-form lesson designed to help you sound more natural, more confident, and more professional. Today, we are not just learning vocabulary words. We are going to talk about something even more important. We are going to talk about tone.
Hi everyone, I am Mark, and I am really looking forward to this session. You know, Sarah, when I first started languages, I made this mistake all the time. I would learn a word in the dictionary, and I would use it immediately. But sometimes people would look at me strangely. I didn't understand why. My grammar was perfect, my vocabulary was correct, but the feeling was wrong.
That is exactly what we are focusing on today, Mark. It is called the direct translation trap. In many languages, it is perfectly normal to be very direct. You might go into a cafe and say, "Give me a coffee." In your language, that is standard. It is polite enough. But in English, if you look at a barista and say, "Give me a coffee," you sound aggressive. You sound demanding. You might even sound rude, even though you don't mean to be.
That is the worst feeling. You want to be friendly, but your English makes you sound angry. I remember once I told a colleague, "Send me the report by 5 o'clock." I thought I was just being clear. I thought I was being efficient. But later, he told me that I sounded like a dictator. I was so embarrassed. I just didn't know the softeners.
And that word right there is the key to today's lesson, softeners. English speakers, especially in the UK, the US, Canada, and Australia, use a lot of softeners. We use extra words to make our requests and our opinions feel gentle. We wrap our meaning in cotton wool so it doesn't hit the other person too hard. Today, we are going to learn 3 specific patterns to soften your English. By the end of this hour, you will know how to turn a command into a request and an insult into constructive feedback.
This is going to be great for anyone working in an international team, or even just for traveling. So, Sarah, where should we start? What is the first tool we can use to stop sounding so direct?
The first tool is one of the most common and powerful structures in polite English. It is the phrase, "I was wondering."
I was wondering. Now, grammatically, that is interesting. It uses the past continuous tense. I was wondering. Does that mean I stopped wondering? Does it mean I am talking about yesterday?
That is a great question, Mark, and this is where English gets a little bit strange. We use the past continuous tense, "I was wondering," to talk about the present moment. We use the past tense to create distance. When you create distance between you and the request, it sounds less aggressive. It sounds like you are giving the other person a choice. If I say, "I want to know the answer," that is very direct. It is right here, right now. But if I say, "I was wondering if you knew the answer," it feels softer. It feels like I am stepping back and giving you space.
So even though I am asking you right now, I use the past tense to be polite. That is a really useful mental trick. It's not about time. It's about distance and respect.
Exactly. Let's practice the structure. The pattern is usually, "I was wondering if," followed by a subject and a verb. For example, imagine you need to ask a colleague for help. The direct way is, "Help me," or "I want your help." The softened way is, "I was wondering if you could help me."
That sounds so much better. It sounds professional. I was wondering if you could help me.
Let's try a few more. Listen to the direct version first, and then we'll practice the softened version together. Direct, "Are you free tomorrow?" Softened, "I was wondering if you are free tomorrow." "I was wondering if you are free tomorrow." Good. Now, listener, I want you to try. I will say the direct phrase, and then I will leave a quiet space for you to say the softened version using "I was wondering if." Then Mark will say the correct answer. Let's try. The direct phrase is, "Do you have a minute?" "I was wondering if you have a minute." Did you get that? Let's try another one. This is very common in emails. The direct phrase is, "Did you receive my email?" How would you soften that? "I was wondering if you received my email." Perfect. Notice how that changes the tone completely. "Did you receive my email?" Sounds like an interrogation. It sounds like you are checking up on me. I was wondering if you received my email. Sounds like maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I'm just gently checking. It takes the pressure off.
I love that. It takes the pressure off. That is a great way to describe it. Sarah, can we use this for invitations too?
Absolutely. In fact, it is the best way to invite someone to do something without putting them on the spot. If you say, "Do you want to have dinner?" and they don't want to, they have to say no. That can be awkward. But if you use our phrase, it becomes much easier.
So instead of, "Do you want to have dinner?" I would say, "I was wondering if you would like to have dinner."
Exactly. And let's add a time to it. I was wondering if you'd like to have dinner this weekend. Listener, try that one. It is a long sentence, so take a deep breath. I was wondering if you'd like to have dinner this weekend.
I was wondering if you'd like to have dinner this weekend.
Very good. Now let's add one more layer to this I was wondering technique. Sometimes we don't use if. Sometimes we use I was wondering with question words like when, where, or how.
Oh, right. Like instead of asking, "Where is the bathroom?" which is a bit abrupt.
Yes, where is the bathroom is fine in an emergency, but if you are at a nice dinner party, you might say, I was wondering where the bathroom is. Notice the grammar change there, Mark?
Yes, I heard it. You didn't say, "I was wondering where is the bathroom." You said, "I was wondering where the bathroom is." The verb moved to the end.
That is a very important point for our A2 and B1 learners. When you put a question inside another sentence, the grammar stops being a question grammar and becomes statement grammar. Normal question, where is it? Softened sentence, I was wondering where it is.
That is tricky. Let's practice that transformation.
Good idea. I will give the direct question. You, the listener, try to start with I was wondering and remember to move the verb. Here's the first one. When does the meeting start?
I was wondering when the meeting starts.
Did you remember to move the does and start? Let's try another. Direct question. Why is the office closed?
I was wondering why the office is closed.
Excellent. One more. This is a very useful one for travel. Direct question. How much does this cost?
I was wondering how much this costs.
Perfect. This phrase, I was wondering, is your best friend. It is like a key that opens doors gently instead of kicking them down. If you only take one thing from this lesson, take this phrase. Use it in your next email. Use it the next time you ask a waiter for the bill. I was wondering if we could get the bill. It just smooths everything out.
It really does. It makes you sound so much more fluent, too. Beginners ask direct questions. Advanced speakers wonder.
That is a great summary. Beginners ask, advanced speakers wonder. Now let's move on to our second tool for softening your English. This one is for when you need to give an opinion, especially a negative one.
Oh, this is the hard part. Disagreeing with people in a second language is terrifying. I usually just stay quiet because I am afraid of saying, "You are wrong," and starting a fight.
And that is a very smart fear to have, because simply saying you are wrong or I disagree is very confrontational in English-speaking cultures. We value harmony and consensus, so when we disagree, we usually present it as a perspective, not a fact. We use words like it seems or it looks like.
It seems. So instead of talking about the person, we talk about the situation.
Exactly. Let's imagine you are looking at a document and there is a mistake in the numbers. The direct translation might be, you made a mistake. That is an attack. It points the finger at you.
Right. You made a mistake. It feels aggressive. I feel defensive immediately.
Exactly. Now let's try using it seems. We take you out of the sentence. We say, it seems there is a mistake in the numbers.
It seems there is a mistake. That is so much better. It's like the mistake just appeared there by itself. Nobody is guilty. It's just an observation.
Precisely. You are criticizing the problem, not the person. Let's try another one. Imagine you are at a restaurant and the soup is cold. You could call the waiter and say, this soup is cold. That is a fact, but it can sound like a complaint.
How do we soften that? It seems the soup is cold?
You could say that. Or you could say, it seems like the soup isn't very hot. We often use a negative adjective to be even softer. Instead of cold, we say not very hot.
Wow, English speakers really go out of their way to avoid conflict, don't they? It seems like the soup isn't very hot. Okay, I can do that.
Let's practice a few of these it seems phrases. I will give you a harsh, direct statement. I want you to transform it using it seems or it looks like. Here's the first one. Direct. The computer is broken.
It seems like the computer is broken.
Good. Or even, it looks like the computer isn't working. Let's try another. Direct. We are lost. Imagine saying this to a taxi driver. You don't want to shout, "We are lost."
It seems like we might be lost.
Oh, I like that you added might in there. It seems like we might be lost. That is triple softness. It seems, like, and might. You are very safe with that sentence. Listener, repeat that one after Mark. It is a great phrase for your safety kit.
It seems like we might be lost.
Excellent. Now, there is another phrase we use to soften negative opinions or disagreements. It is the phrase "to be honest" or "to tell you the truth," but we use them in a specific way. We usually put them at the start of a sentence when we are about to say no or give bad news.
Ah, yes. Like when someone invites you to a party and you don't want to go. You don't just say, "I don't want to go."
Right, that would be brutal. Instead, you say, "To be honest, I'm a bit tired tonight." It signals to the listener that the real truth is coming, but it acts like a warning. It prepares them.
It's like a buffer. To be honest, I can't make it.
Exactly. And another very powerful phrase for disagreement is "I'm not sure."
I'm not sure. But what if I am sure? What if I know 100% that the other person is wrong? Do I still say I'm not sure?
Yes, you do. This is the secret of business English. Even when you are 100% certain, you often pretend to be unsure to save the other person's face. If your boss says the meeting is on Tuesday, but you know it is on Wednesday, you don't say, "No, it's Wednesday." You say, "I'm not sure that's right. I thought it was on Wednesday."
I'm not sure that's right. That is really useful. It gives the boss a chance to correct himself without looking stupid.
Exactly. It invites collaboration. Let's practice this structure. "I'm not sure that," followed by your opinion. Listener, imagine someone suggests an idea that you think is too expensive. The direct phrase is, "That is too expensive." How can you soften that using "I'm not sure"?
I'm not sure that fits our budget.
Or simply, "I'm not sure that's the best option." Let's try another one. Someone says, "Let's leave now," but you think it is too early. Direct, "It is too early." Soften it.
I'm not sure if we should leave yet. It seems a bit early.
Perfect. You combined them. "I'm not sure" plus "it seems." That is master level softening, Mark.
I am learning from the best, Sarah. So we have "I was wondering" for requests, and "it seems" or "I'm not sure" for opinions. What is the third tool?
The third tool is changing your imperatives into questions. An imperative is when you use the verb directly. Give me, sit down, pass the salt, call me. These are commands. We use them for dogs, we use them for soldiers. We rarely use them for friends or colleagues unless we are in a rush.
This is a huge one. I hear this all the time. Pass the salt, open the window. It's not that the person is mean, they just don't know the pattern.
Right, and the pattern is simple. We turn the command into a question using "could you" or "would you," and if we want to be extra polite, "Do you think you could?"
Do you think you could? That is long.
It is long, but it is lovely. Let's start with the basic one, "could you?" Instead of "open the window," we say, "Could you open the window?"
Could you open the window? And I guess we often add please.
Yes, please helps, but the structure is more important. "Open the window, please" is still a command, just a polite command. "Could you open the window" is a request. It asks for ability and willingness.
I see the difference. Please doesn't fix everything. You need to change the grammar.
Exactly. Let's look at a work example. "Send me the file." That is a command. How do we make it a "could you" request?
Could you send me the file?
Good. Now let's try the extra soft version. "Do you think you could?" This is great when you are asking for a favor that might be annoying or difficult. You are acknowledging that it might be hard.
So if I need someone to stay late at work, I wouldn't just say "stay late." I would say, "Do you think you could stay a bit late tonight?"
Perfect. "Do you think you could stay a bit late tonight?" Listener, I want you to shadow that sentence. It has a nice rhythm. "Do you think you could?" It flows together. "Do you think you could stay a bit late tonight?" Try it.
Do you think you could stay a bit late tonight?
And notice the intonation. It goes up at the end gently. You don't want to sound flat. You want to sound hopeful. Let's try another one using "do you think you could?" Imagine you need someone to check your English writing. Direct, "check my writing." Softened,
Do you think you could check my writing?
or even "do you think you could take a look at my writing?" Take a look is softer than check.
There is so much nuance here. It is like painting. You can use broad strokes or tiny little details.
It is exactly like painting, and the more colors you have, the more beautiful your picture or your conversation will be. There is one little word we haven't mentioned yet, but it appears in almost all these sentences. Did you notice it, Mark?
Was it the word just?
Just is a big one, yes. Could you just? But I was thinking of possibly. We often add possibly into these requests to make them even softer. Could you possibly help me?
Could you possibly? It sounds very British.
It is very British, but it is understood everywhere. It means, is it possible or is it too much trouble? It shows you are considerate. Could you possibly call me back later?
Could you possibly call me back later? That is much nicer than call me back.
And since you mentioned just, let's talk about that for a second. Just is a minimizer. It makes the request feel small. I just wanted to ask, could I just borrow your pen? It signals, this is a tiny thing. It won't take much of your time.
I use just all the time in emails. I am just writing to check.
Yes, I'm just writing to check is much softer than I am writing to check. It feels friendly, casual. So we have a whole toolkit now. We have I was wondering, it seems, could you, do you think you could, possibly, and just.
That is a full toolbox. But Sarah, I think the problem for our listeners, and for me, is putting it all together in real time. When I am speaking, I am panicking about vocabulary and pronunciation. How do I remember to add all these softeners?
That is the challenge, isn't it? The key is to practice them as chunks. Don't try to build the sentence word by word. Memorize the opener. Memorize I was wondering if as one sound block. Memorize do you think you could as one sound block. When you have these blocks ready, you just clip the verb onto the end.
That makes sense. Treat it like a single vocabulary word.
Exactly. So let's do a little simulation. We are going to role play a situation. I want the listener to imagine they are in this situation too. We are going to be colleagues in an office. I am going to be the slightly annoying colleague who needs a lot of things. Mark, you are going to be the polite professional colleague responding to me or asking me for things. And then we will switch.
Okay, I am ready. I am the professional one.
Scene 1. You need to borrow my stapler. It is on my desk. Don't just take it. Ask me politely.
Excuse me, Sarah. I was wondering if I could borrow your stapler for a second?
Oh, sure, go ahead. That was perfect. You used, I was wondering if I could. Very polite. Now, scene 2. You need me to finish a report, but I am slow. You want to ask when it will be ready. Don't say, when will it be ready? Use a softener.
Sarah, I was wondering when the report might be ready?
Might be ready. Nice touch. When the report might be ready is softer than will be ready. I'll say, oh, I'll have it to you by noon. Now, scene 3. I give you the report, but you see a big error on page 2. Correct me gently.
Thanks for the report, Sarah. To be honest, it seems like there is a small error on page 2.
To be honest, it seems like there is a small error. Beautiful. I am not offended at all. I am happy to fix it. Do you see how easy that interaction was?
It felt smooth. There was no tension.
Now, listener, it is your turn. Mark is going to be the colleague. He is going to give you a prompt, and you have to respond using the softeners we learned. I will give you a hint before you speak.
Okay, listener, here is the situation. You are in a meeting. It is very hot in the room. You want to ask me to turn on the air conditioning. Use, do you think you could? Go ahead. Did you say, do you think you could turn on the air conditioning? Or maybe, do you think you could possibly turn on the AC?
Great. Situation number 2. Mark is talking very fast. You don't understand him. You want him to slow down. Don't say slow down. Use could you possibly. Go ahead.
Did you say, could you possibly speak a little slower? Or could you possibly slow down a bit?
Excellent. Situation number 3. Mark invites you to lunch, but you are too busy. You have to say no. Use to be honest and a bit. Go ahead.
Did you say, to be honest, I'm a bit busy today? Or, to be honest, I have a bit too much work right now?
You are doing great. These phrases are like oil in an engine. They stop the metal parts from grinding against each other. They keep the conversation running smoothly.
You know, Sarah, there is one place where I find this particularly difficult. Emails. When I write emails, I often worry that if I use too many softeners, I will sound weak. Is there a balance?
That is a very important question. There is definitely a balance. If you say, I was wondering if you could possibly maybe just take a little look if you have time, you sound insecure. You sound like you are apologizing for existing. That is too much. You want to sound polite, not weak.
So 1 or 2 softeners is enough?
Exactly. I was wondering if you could send the report is strong and polite. You don't need to add if it's not too much trouble and you are not busy. Keep it simple. Confidence comes from clarity mixed with courtesy.
Clarity mixed with courtesy. I like that rule.
And remember, your tone of voice matters too. We are a podcast, so you can only hear us. You can't see our faces, but you can hear a smile, can't you?
Definitely. If I say, could you open the window with a flat voice, it still sounds a bit cold. But if I say, could you open the window with a higher pitch, it sounds friendly.
Yes. In English, politeness usually involves a higher pitch range and more melody. I was wondering goes up and down. If you say, I was wondering, like a robot, the grammar won't save you. You have to mean it.
So we need to act a little bit. We need to put some emotion into the words.
A language learner is always an actor. You are playing a role. When you speak English, you are playing the role of a polite, confident English speaker, and the costume you are wearing is these phrases.
I love that idea. I am going to put on my English gentleman costume today.
Please do. Now, we have covered a lot of ground today. We have talked about the direct translation trap. We have learned I was wondering, it seems, I'm not sure, and the could you variations. But I want to address one more thing before we finish. Some learners feel that this is fake. They feel like, why can't I just say what I mean? Why do I have to play games?
I have felt that. In my culture, being direct is a sign of honesty. If you talk in circles, people think you are hiding something.
And that is a valid cultural difference. We are not saying that the English way is better objectively. We are saying that if you want to be effective in an English-speaking environment, you need to play by the local rules. In English culture, directness without relationship is often read as aggression. The game of politeness is how we signal, I respect you. I value our relationship more than this transaction.
That makes sense. It's social glue. It's not about hiding the truth. It's about delivering the truth in a package that the other person can accept.
Exactly. It helps you get what you want. If you say, give me the report, the person might give it to you, but they will do it slowly and grudgingly. If you say, could you possibly send me the report, they will likely do it faster and with a smile. Being polite is actually selfish. It makes your life easier.
I never thought about it that way. Politeness is a strategy for success.
It absolutely is. So let's do a final review. I want to build a little routine for our listeners, something they can do tomorrow morning.
Okay, a morning routine. What should they do?
Tomorrow, when you go to work or school or even when you go to the shop, I want you to pick one interaction, just one. It could be buying a bus ticket. It could be asking a colleague for a pen. It could be ordering a coffee.
Okay, one interaction.
In that one interaction, I want you to ban the imperative. Do not use a command verb. Do not say, one coffee, please. Do not say, pass the pen.
What should they say instead?
Use one of our softeners. Say, I was wondering if I could have a coffee. Say, could you possibly pass the pen?
That is a great challenge. Just one sentence. You don't have to change your whole personality. Just change one sentence.
And observe the reaction. See if the person smiles more. See if the interaction feels lighter. I bet it will.
And if you are feeling brave, try the it seems technique. If you see something wrong, try to point it out using it seems. It seems like it's raining. It seems we are out of milk.
It seems we are out of milk is a classic household softener. Instead of shouting, you drink all the milk, you say, it seems we are out of milk. It might save your marriage.
Or at least save your breakfast.
Indeed. We are coming to the end of our session. But before we go, let's do one final rapid-fire round of repetition. I want these phrases to stick in your brain like a song. I will say the phrase, Mark will repeat it, and you shadow Mark. We will go through our top 5 hits of the day. Are you ready?
I am ready. Let's do it.
Number 1, the classic opener. I was wondering if you could help me.
I was wondering if you could help me.
Number 2, the gentle disagreement. I'm not sure that's right.
I'm not sure that's right.
Number 3, the soft observation. It seems there is a mistake.
It seems there is a mistake.
Number 4, the polite request. Do you think you could call me back?
Do you think you could call me back?
Number 5, the British classic. Could you possibly send me the details?
Could you possibly send me the details?
Wonderful. You have done excellent work today. Listening to a long lesson like this takes focus and dedication. You are not just learning English. You are building a new version of yourself, a version that can navigate the world with grace and confidence.
It really is a journey. And remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be a little bit softer than you were yesterday.
Step by step. That is why we are here. If you enjoyed this calm, focused way of learning, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss our next deep dive. We have so many more patterns to explore.
And if you found this helpful, try that challenge tomorrow. One polite sentence. It might change your whole day.
Thank you so much for listening. Relax, be kind to yourself, and keep practicing. Your English is getting better every single day.
See you next time, everyone.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Remember, I was wondering. It seems. Could you possibly?
Do you think you could?
Perfect. See you soon.